Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Female Filmmakers Fuse with Alexa Polar, only on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome to Female Filmmakers Fuse. I'm Alexa Polar. I have Robin Pabello here.
Hello, happy Sunday. Go Brazil.
The call-in number here is 818-602-4929. Robin, what's that number again?
818-602-4929.
Robin, why don't you tell everyone who our guests are today?
Okay.
Marian.
Hello.
Kat.
Hello. Happy Father's Day.
Rachel.
Happy Sunday.
You know, thank you, Kat. You just took that away from me. I had that moment. I was gonna real quick
Over here stealing your thunder.
Seriously,
Okay, let's rewind. Go ahead. You can
please. It's so my dad's listening. Probably not because he's watching the game like Robin here. Happy Father's Day to my dad if he's listening. My mom's probably nudging him right now. Listen to your daughter. She's saying Happy Father's Day to you. So I'll do it again. Happy Father's Day to my dad. Okay.
Yay. We all have fathers, so it's not just about you. So my dad's in the Philippines, but I doubt he's listening to this. But
Does LA Talk Radio get all the way to the Philippines? I don't think it does.
I mean, I would think it
does,
does because it
It
streams.
does.
Yeah,
It's
anything
streaming, yeah.
that's streaming can go anywhere in the world.
All over
If
the
you
world.
have Wi-Fi as Marian.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Spanish.
Yeah,
I'm
she's from Spain.
learning my. I'm
no,
learning
you're good.
English. Yeah, I'm good.
No, I
Yeah.
love it. I'd rather say Wi-Fi any day of the week. So she can say
But
Happy
I
Father's
say
Day.
Wi-Fi already.
Yeah, she says so. She learned.
Oh,
I learned how to say.
she's whitewashed now.
She's
I say
LA now.
Wi-Fi.
She's see, she says it like that too. She's LA
I just
now.
want to know, is Robin going to give us updates on the Brazil game?
Yes,
She
you will
probably will.
hear
She'll
my
hear-
reaction.
She's gonna, yeah, we'll hear her reaction
Sorry.
when we score a goal.
Sorry, not
and
sorry. I will try to keep it
She is a
on lock
hardcore Brazilian soccer fan.
since I
Okay.
was 3. Okay, continue,
All right.
ladies.
So we're here for not the game, but all three of you ladies are actresses, were actresses. Okay, so I'll start with Marian, you're an actress from Spain.
Yes.
Okay. Kat, you're an actress, but you also write.
Yes.
Okay. And then Rachel, you were an actress turned producer.
I still act. I'm just old and cranky about it, and I don't do it as often. I'm like, they want what? Where? No. Call me later. Like
Gotcha.
that's
Perfect. That
that's
sounds
my
good.
attitude towards it now.
But real quick, before we get to everything else, you have a show, TV pilot, South African.
Yeah, I produced on the South African television pilot that's showing as a short across, in festivals in the U.S. And it's winning, which is crazy, and it's getting so much love from the South African press. It's on the front page of a newspaper the other day, which is really crazy.
Woohoo!
Amazing.
Congrats.
Yeah, they spent a ton of money on it though. It was so many dollars, because as a line producer, I'm like, I tell people I do budgets like a single mom, even though I don't have kids. I'm like, if it's not on sale, you're not getting it. Period.
Smart.
But they're like, we have diamond mines. It's okay. So we got to order the helicopter and the presidential suite and all that fun stuff. So it was
what you're
super cool.
saying is we should go to South Africa and film there is what you're saying.
Well, we shot it here, but yeah.
So use South African money is what you're saying.
Yeah, they
The diamond money.
Yes, they have a production company in South Africa, and they came here. They're like, we want to do the Hollywood thing. Rachel, tell us how to do it. Where are the people? What do we do? What are we, dealing with permits and locations and all of it, getting crewed up and stuff like that. So that was my job.
That's awesome.
And clearing everything for the helicopter pad and all that jazz.
That's really cool.
It was super fun.
Yeah. What was the helicopter? Was regular helicopter military type? Or?
No, it's about it's called Project X Marks the Spot, and it's about the CIA's involvement in the South African government choices.
Gotcha.
And who they did or didn't murder.
Wow.
Based on true.
Yeah, it actually got rejected from Cannes because there's some law in France that you have to, if you have some sort of government story, that it has to be cleared. So
Whoa.
I'd never experienced that in my 10 years of actually being a producer, of having Cannes send, not only be we can't do this, here's your submission feedback.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen that
So you
happen
got your
before.
money back, too?
Yeah, they're like, we can't with you.
Sorry, we can't touch
Sorry.
it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like there's a time frame with that, or if it's just like across the board.
It's across the board. You have to
Wow.
get like
Like,
permission.
yeah, because then that is basically backing
Yeah.
something, and France does not want to.
No, they don't want no part of that.
Yeah.
That's weird. We dealt with something, Robin and I dealt with something somewhat similar with a documentary. And it was supposed to automatically go into a film festival that sponsors and supports the school that we were going to. And when they found out what it was about, they rejected it and said it was being disrespectful towards the president.
Wow, that's interesting.
It was just because we were talking about foreclosures in the United States, and we just told what it was and where it started. And the city that was hosting or hosts this film festival is very Republican. And so they didn't like that we were saying what we were saying.
That's interesting that you say that. I made a documentary a couple years ago that I did a lap around the world interviewing people that are survivors of like sex crimes and sexuality shaming and gender-based violence. And I went to a few countries that don't have First Amendment rights.
Right.
And was literally sneaking through countries with a GoPro and like a Clinique makeup bag. But like, I'm a tourist, me out here with my fanny pack, like just trying to make fetch happen. And when I went to like
That should never
Okay,
happen.
can I pause? Because all I see is like you with a fanny pack around your waist and like a little tiny hole, and you just like.
it was
awkward.
almost kind of like that. Almost kind of like that.
And then when you want to angle up.
Yeah, it's like you just gotta really make it a thing. All those posing skills for modeling, that's
There
where it
you
came
go.
from. But when I was talking, to different companies about doing distribution and things like that, I was like, well, are we gonna get distribution in territories that don't have First Amendment rights? Like, how are we going to go? They're like, yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
So those things happen.
It's crazy. Yeah. See it all the time. A lot of politics. A lot of
Tons.
politics.
So just rewind. So if we can give introductions to each person.
Full name.
Yes, full name. So that way, if they want to find you at the end of the show, we'll give all that information.
We'll get to that at the end of
But
the show,
just
but
like
your full name.
little intros about yourself, since we kind
Yeah.
of touched with Rachel. Like, how did you fall into that?
Yeah, we'll start with Marian.
Okay.
Your full name. Not your full professional name is what I mean.
Okay, Marian Aguilera.
Okay.
That's my name. And what else?
You're an actress, correct?
Yes,
How
I'm
long
an
have you been
actress.
acting for?
I started when I was 7, 8. I don't remember exactly, but
Okay.
yes.
And you liked
Well, when you start acting, I mean, kids are not actors or models. You just work, so you can do theater and commercials and modeling or theater. So I was a worker kid,
Okay.
not an actor or a model.
Gotcha.
Right. So, yeah, that's one.
But you liked it since you were little.
Sure. Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about that because everybody asks me about if it was me or my mother or my father who just convinced me to do that. Probably not. I mean, I have that memories about myself looking for the phone book, looking for television or
Okay.
cinema. I mean, I just found there places to repair televisions or
Okay.
going to the cinema,
So you didn't find like
Yeah, but I
acting
was
stuff.
looking for something.
Right.
And I remember then we went to I have a wonderful aunt called Juana.
Okay.
Juana. Tia Juana. Her name is Juana.
That's another aunt.
And we were there, and I don't know, I think we were seeing a movie, and something like appeared in my, clicked there.
Okay.
And I remember that day, I was crying, I want to go to TV. And my mother said, but that's a movie. That's not the TV. That's not a show. I say, whatever, I want to go. I don't know where. And they had a conversation that day because I remember I was like playing with my cousins, but they started talking about something inside the room.
Okay.
So after that, I saw my mother was involved and decided to help me.
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice.
So my father he didn't like it at all. But my mother and I, we always do what we want to do.
Right. That's good.
Yeah, normal way, right?
Right.
But we were very strong on it. So he just had to turn the check.
Yeah, the cheek turn the other way.
Yeah, to turn the way.
Yeah.
So you can do what you want. It's true though, because not everyone gets forced into it. My nephew, who's Jordan, how old is Jordan? He's my nephew, and I don't know.
Fuck! Sorry. Oh.
That wasn't a reaction on my nephew.
No, it wasn't.
No, your nephew is my boyfriend.
Yeah, my nephew's your boyfriend. My nephew Jordan is, how old is Jordan, Robin? He's
10.
10. He just turned 10.
Wow.
I should know that.
I apologize. It's because...
Okay, the game.
Yeah.
So Jordan, who just turned 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Are you
she's
seeing the game?
She's watching the game
No.
right now.
Switzerland just scored. It was a
It's
nice goal.
Good for Switzerland.
Give me the phone.
Take the phone away.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't react.
I like Switzerland. They have chocolate and money. I don't see
Yes.
it.
This is
Safe.
true.
They do two
Same.
things well, and they're
Exactly.
just crushing
So
it.
good for them. And now they're crushing some. So it's 1-1, correct? Mm-hmm. Well, I hope Brazil wins too. I'm a fan.
Shush. Okay, continue, please.
So Jordan, who's 10, he's been doing it since he was 2.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been doing this since he was 2. But we get those reactions as well, because sometimes it's myself or Robin that takes him on the set if his parents can't. And people look at us like, oh, you're forcing this kid to do it. They have no idea that there's times where I wake up and turn my face. I'm literally just waking up and I see my nephew standing there. He's like, can I act in something? And I'm like, good morning. Like, what are you doing in my room? And he's like, I just want to act. So I get it. And I understand what you mean, Marian, when you say that it's something that you wanted to do. And sometimes it does come naturally for some people, and it doesn't matter what the age is. And then sometimes it is forced on it by parents or whatnot. But there's a huge difference. You do have the talent. I've seen your work. I think my nephew has it too. He just needs to work some more. And if he's listening to this, he's like, yes, give me some more work. But so I totally get it. Kat.
Yes.
Kat Venuti.
Venuti.
Certo.
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've been acting professionally for about 10 years now, and like Marian, when I was little, we had a great school system, and there were a lot of outlets for acting. I was very active that way. But when I went to college, that all seemed to go away. I just was really focusing more on getting a good education. I got my degree in political science. I interned for John McCain, even though I'm a Democrat. Don't tell him that.
It's our secret.
So I really went into marketing and got a corporate job right after college. And it just wasn't satisfying to me. I'm in a corporate world with a great job and good insurance and,
All of the accoutrements.
lots of money. Yes, exactly. So, but I wasn't fulfilled. I had a passion for acting, and I said, you know what, I just can't do this. And with the support of my parents, they understood that I wanted to do that, so I just moved out to LA.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Where are you originally from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Very cool.
East Coast.
Rachel.
East Coast.
Well, I know we heard that you
Yeah,
do a
well,
little
I mean,
bit of both.
my story is so boring in comparison. Like, my modeling career came in the mail. Like, I just got a letter one day from a school/agency, and I was like, this is stupid. And my friends started like, no, let's go. It's like, fine, geez, we'll go. So we went to this, like, crash course day, and I was already, like, 5'7" at 12.
Okay.
So...
Okay.
The runway thing was it was a bit easier back then, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I went to school and I started booking jobs, and I got kind of hooked on it because every audition I went to or every modeling casting I went to, like, I was getting it, which phases out as you get older. But and then lo and behold, by some magical stroke of God, the guy that lived across the street from us was a DP and a director in a place where DPs and directors don't exist, by the way. And he was out in his front yard. Him and his buddy were throwing a bouquet of flowers around because he had just shot a wedding movie in the Carolinas, but he needed a pickup shot of the stupid bouquet. So him and his friend are out in their front yard, like trying to get this bouquet shot. Like, what are you idiots doing? Like, oh, I need a pickup shot to get this, to get this scene right. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he asked me, he's like, hey, I have a grant to make this horror short for this festival. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I hated it. I had to wear white contacts. And like, I was like, the actor that I was acting with was so serious and method. And blah. I'm like, this is silly, whatever. My eyes hurt. And I'm like, no wonder people get paid so much for this. This is awful.
Right.
And like, this is terrible. Like, why would you choose to do this with yourself? So I didn't do it for a long time. Like, I think I moved here when I was 19 because I was working here modeling so much. And then I had friends that worked at big production companies and like, oh, just come hang out on set. We have craft service. You can just eat snacks with us.
That's why I go.
Yeah, me too. Still to this day. Like, just pay me in sweet and salty bars, baby. Like, we're good to go. And they're like, oh, just throw this costume on, or oh, just come do this silly thing. And it just progressed into the craziness that it is now.
Yeah, because you've got like crazy credits under your name. Like, you were in Entourage as well.
Yeah, that was super fun. Although I had to share the makeup trailer with Gary Busey.
Oh God!
Which was
God!
It was an ordeal.
Dear Lord, I will not comment. My tone
Says it all.
Strong enough.
Dealt with
He's
that.
crazy.
Yeah,
he's so crazy,
yeah.
and he can't even act anymore. He's got to use cue cards, and he still can't.
Yeah,
still can't
I
keep
felt
it together.
bad for a sound guy that we were on set with him, and purposely he would, right before the take, yell into the mic, like, and the guy would just
jump. Yeah, I've seen him throw burritos at people.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He's got a real burrito throwing habit.
He stole my cooler.
How did that happen?
He stole my cooler.
Damn it, Kim.
Why didn't you ask for it back?
No, I did, and production still hasn't ever returned it or paid for it back. Like, he literally put stuff in it. It was, my parents were catering, were the caterers for the production, and they asked for certain specialty foods, and my parents were there doing it from scratch, whatever. And then there was 2 coolers, and one of it had like all water, and the other one had like different soft drinks and whatnot, what they were requesting. He took the one with all the soft drinks and everything. Like, he literally picked it up
and just made off with it.
Right when he was wrapped, we just saw him. I was like, what is he?
What is
and then he got into his limo, and then he took off, and I was like, there goes my cooler.
So Gary Busey had to drag an Igloo cooler into a limo and
pretty much
and speed away.
I was like, there's no alcohol in there, so I have no idea. Like, he just took off with the cooler.
He's just a Looney Tune.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, there goes that. Anyhow,
Sorry, it's too much airtime.
True. Now you plugged your show. That's a short. Your pilot, that's a short. Anything else that's in the works?
In the works? I mean, people, listen, I'm at a point in my life where people call me and ask me for things, and I say yes or no, basically. I'm trying to say no more often, like, because I can't anyway, like, keep so many things going at the same time.
Right.
And I've been having a lot of, like, sob stories lately of people calling me like, oh, I messed up, and I need this, and I need that, and please help me out, and then I do, and then it's, like, a bad idea. So I'm trying to say no more often.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, right, Marian? Where, like, guilt hits us really hard. Yes. But that's our own doing.
Yes.
So we allow certain things to happen.
Gotta dial it back.
We was like,
I think, though, once you have a certain amount of time where, we did touch on this last week, there's certain things that you want to bend on because you want to work with these people, whether it's for low budget or no budget. But yeah, definitely getting a little more picky and choosy about, like, content that you want to work and the people you want to work and forever long you'd like to work with those people. Definitely as you go on. I've also noticed that. I feel like it's not like a shift of like, oh, I'm better than you. It's just a shift of I've done my fair share of this, and every once in a while to go back to that to keep yourself grounded, because we are lucky. We're lucky.
We're very lucky, but at the same time, like, I feel like we all get the same 24 hours in every day, and like I can't help everybody with only 24 hours. Like, it's just not possible. So you have to have some sort of selection process.
24 hours seems so short.
It's
short. Not enough. Yeah. Like, seriously, I miss sleep. Kat, anything you have coming up? Because I know, like, and this is something I do want to touch on, because I know a couple actresses that do a lot of stand-in. And I know that's tends to be their bread and butter while they're waiting for any roles that come up their way or auditions. Is that the same for you? Do you do a lot of standing or just extra or a little bit of both or all?
I do stand and work. I don't do extra work. But it really has been such a blessing for me. And the example I'll use is on Great News, which, we had 2 seasons. Unfortunately, the show just got canceled. But it was such an amazing experience because it allows me to meet and interact with top directors.
Tina Fey.
Yeah,
Hello.
Tina Fey, working with Tina Fey, with Tracy Wigfield, who created the show, who was her protege, I believe, and Beth McCarthy Miller, who is just one of the most amazing directors you could ever work with. She is an SNL alum, and then to be working with her on Great News for both seasons is just, no one will ever be able to teach you that in an acting class.
Right.
And if you're lucky enough to land on a set with that kind of a director, that's your master class right there.
Right.
So it really is an invaluable experience. And one of the things that we also had to do on that show was know the part of the person that you're standing in for. Yeah. So literally every single shot that we're doing, no matter what the shot is, we're doing a second team rehearsal.
Correct.
Right? So, again, like whether we're doing Steadicam or we're doing, master shots or close-ups, we have a complete knowledge of the geography of a scene, of how cameras work, of how everything works behind the scenes on a crew. But most importantly, I think, with the top dogs, writers, directors, producers.
And that's a good point you bring, because doing the stand-in, I notice like a lot of the actresses that I know that do stand-in, they tend to know more the crew than they do the talent, because they hang out with the crew more. And like what you said, you get to know the shots more because you're seeing it more that way, because that's you're there.
That's your job.
That's your job, right?
Day in and day out.
Yeah, day in and day out. So you get to know the crew more than you would your co-colleagues and as an actress.
Absolutely.
And I find that interesting. Does it help you as well? Do you have them contacting you because they know you also, like, you just don't stand there? You actually, because you are acting as well, but
every person's going to bring something different to the table. So if you take advantage of your time on set so that you're making those contacts, you're learning those lines, you're understanding what everybody does on a crew, that's invaluable.
Right.
Really right there. And I'll tell you, one time on Ground Floor, I had Gail Mancuso, who is, I believe, the only woman to win 2 back-to-back Emmy awards for comedy directing for, I think it was Modern Family, if I'm not mistaken. And she actually fought to get me a part on that show.
That's awesome.
So when they see what you can do, they're like,
they're on your team.
Oh,
I know a lot of friends that's happened to, that they second team, and they like, my friend was standing in for Newsroom, and Aaron Sorkin specifically himself wrote her a part.
That's awesome.
Well, here's the thing. What's really nice about that is obviously I'm a camera, so I get to talk to second team and first team, like, because we're making sure like the blocking's right, and then they know it. So when there's a good solid second team stand-in and they know like kind of like the stumble and the mannerism or like hitting the marks and knowing, it's so much better for all of us as a whole, because then it gives you like a true of like where it's going to be. It may need a little finessing when the first team comes in, but a good stand-in, man, I tell you, that saves us, a little more from the tweaking and maneuvering, like where the camera's going to be and like where the lighting is going to be for, the DP.
And anticipating what production needs.
Yes.
What's coming next, what could be an issue, what could be a problem. I also think it's so flattering too when you're doing a part and you are doing that rehearsal and the actor comes in and they do it a certain way, and then the writer leans over to the director and the director goes over to the actor and says, can you do it this way? Which is the way that you did it.
Right.
So it's such a compliment.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's amazing training. It's just been such a blessing.
That's cool. And what are you
No,
got
I was
going
thinking
on?
about what Kat was talking about her job. But I think you are, I saw her acting too. I think she's a very awake actress, and she probably is learning all that you're telling us because you're capable. Probably other people who does that.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, they are not capable of learning about all that. But I believe you are mature. I know it's because of you, not because you do that job. Probably that teaches you a lot, but you are learning a lot because you are there very professional.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're so sweet.
Very natural, yeah. And it's interesting you bring that up, Marian, because I had a meeting yesterday. Wow. Those 24 hours are gone.
Don't worry, you know you already.
So I had a meeting yesterday, and we talked a lot about you and just how professional you are and how lucky we are to have you here. And it's interesting because I had told him, like, it took me a minute to get used to, so Marian and I were working on a few projects, and there were times where we would meet up and we would go over the script, but I didn't know what time we were going to go over the script. Like, I thought, like, okay, we'll just chit chat and then start going into the script. And I walk in and she's in character and she starts talking to me, or like we'll walk into somewhere and she'll say like, hi, I'm a lawyer going into being and I was like, what just happened? So she gets into character, and I think it's amazing because I see the process and I see the difference. And then she'll turn around, look at me, and she's like, do you get it? And I'm like, I do now. Thanks for the warning.
Marian has that ability to be so present, and her focus is laser focused, and she is right there.
Right.
And when you're on the other end of that, it is fantastic.
It is. No,
that
seriously.
doesn't always happen.
It doesn't. And that's what we were talking about yesterday. It's just like, I'm blown away, and I'm so glad because I sit there and I'm learning something as well, because I was like, holy hell, like, what? And then she'll not break character, but she'll mention me because she's looking the lost face, like I'm looking at her like, what is happening? And then she's like, Alexa, da-da, and I'm like, oh, she's
Thank you for the ta-la-la-la-la. I think it
yada,
was
yada,
the
yada.
content inside that
Right.
ta-la-la-la-la.
I don't remember the words like you do, even though I wrote them.
But also kind. She's such a kind person too.
Yeah.
So to have her well-rounded, and it's just a pleasure to work with.
We are all nice.
This is
We
a
are nice
podcast.
people.
We're doing a podcast of compliments right now.
You are not.
I'm not. I'm evil.
No.
The worst.
So I know
She
Rachel.
loves Chanel. She's fantastic.
So Rachel's like looking like, what is happening? So Rachel, just a little background, because we met because of the podcast, you and I, on social media.
Yes.
And then this is the first time you and I are meeting in person. And you're probably looking at us like, why do you guys talk like you know each other? Like, okay, so Kat and I met through Robin. Robin met Kat on
Rules of Engagement.
Engagement. And so Robin introduced me, and we've been friends, and we've worked together since. And she's just an amazing person. And then, as you are, but like I said, I'm just letting you know.
No, I have an image to uphold. I am rotten.
And Marian, I met Marian directly because of a project that we're working on. And then, how did you get here?
You beamed her up from somewhere.
You want me to explain that to the audience? Yeah.
Well, we're working on something together, a few things together, right?
Yes. Okay. Someone called me once. I mean, my agent in Spain called me, telling me that someone was interested in LA about me, and at that time I was thinking about leaving Madrid. I didn't know where to go. I was planning to go to France or Barcelona, go back to my place. So I never thought about LA, even if it was a natural dream, but never took myself too serious on that. So when my agent told me that someone was interested, I thought, why? And she said, because she saw you in a movie. And then I told my agent, okay, tell her that it's a very old movie, that I'm old.
I remember
say that.
I do remember receiving that email from her agent. She's like, well, and she was trying to phrase it really nicely, like, that movie's like X amount of years ago, and and I was like, I'm sure she aged gracefully. I'm like, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. And then we had a Skype conversation. Yeah. And I told her, okay. And actually, she just wanted to know if I was still acting.
Yeah.
And I was, very surprised. It was like a dream coming here. Also, I loved my character and the story, because right now, all women, we are talking and realizing about the problem that we have, right?
The Me Too movement.
Yeah. And then we are taking care of each other. Here in Spain, everywhere, there's like a movement that is like growing up.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just came at the right moment, because I was opening my eyes
Yeah. Just a little bit behind that. I wrote a project, and it was in 2016, December, that I wrote it, like literally in a day. Robin can attest to that, because I gave her the script. She thought I was nuts. And then she read it. Well, I mean, because I was locked in my room, and Robin's like nodding no. But then she read it, and she did some, like, I give her my scripts all the time so she can read through and find anything I miss, because I literally just write. And sometimes I don't think of grammatical stuff, spelling, or anything. I just write. And so I give it to someone, and it's usually Robin, who reads it and says, okay, here's the stuff I found. And then she'll give me some really good criticism, like, hey, maybe you should do this or that. And I think about it, I'm like, that's a good idea, and I'll go and change things. So I wrote this project in December of 2016, and it's about rape culture. And what was inspired by it was the whole Brock Turner case. The irony of it was that all this started coming about, and then the Harvey Weinstein thing came out, and all this
The floodgates
open, and I was like sitting there like, what is happening? Like, because I didn't obviously plan it. I didn't know this was all going to happen. So it was just a really weird, natural.
Prophetic. It was prophetic.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just a.
But yeah, she's a.
When it's time, it's time
She's
though.
a little
Like
witch. Yeah.
the U.S.
I'm a little witch. I'm a little witch.
A little witchy.
Sometimes with the B too.
Yeah.
But
Well, the U.S. Patent Office has, like, at any given time, they have like 7 patents down for the same thing. Like, when things are supposed to be, they just happen, and it's on everybody's situation. So it's just the time for that. But it's really changed. It's really changed, like, this town and the industry, and like it's really.
Hang on, I got a call coming in. Hello. Hello, can you hear us?
Hi, you're on live.
I think we're listening to the show and calling at the same time. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, hi. You're on the air. Can I get your name?
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Lucy, and I know Marianne.
Say hello.
Hello.
You know Marian?
Yes.
Do I know?
I work in Love Marian Aguilera.
Qué lindo. ¿Es mejor hablamos en español?
¿Sí? ¿Hablamos en español?
Hi. Sorry.
Don't worry.
I work in Love Marian Aguilera. I don't know if you know me, Marianne.
Fan.
Oh, yes. Oh, so, okay. We don't know each other in person, right? Or yes?
¿Mejor?
En español.
En español. Digo que no nos conocemos en persona. No creo. No.
She's
Lucy.
hearing it.
Okay.
Do you hear it?
No.
It's better if you turn off the radio and then just talk on the phone, so that way we can hear each other, because we're hearing a lot of feedback in the background.
Yeah, it seems like it takes a lot.
I could hear the show. She's watching it, and
She's listening to it.
Wait, I think there's a delay or something.
there is a delay.
Yes. Lucy, ¿verdad?
I will try to call again.
Oh, she's going to try calling again. Okay. All right, that was... So there you go. Marianne has fans. Obviously, she does. No, she does.
She does around the world.
It's insane. Like, I get contacted all the time from her fans, and I think it's amazing. I hope she calls back.
Yeah, just when you guys call back, just turn off the radio and then just talk via phone, and then
yeah, you won't get that delay.
You can always listen to the podcast at a later time. But sorry, go ahead and continue, and hopefully she does come back.
No.
You were saying something.
Yeah.
Like how things just
that it was
that
time for
it
the
came
Me
to
Too
it
movement.
just came to be. I do a show every Friday night called #NoFilterFriday on Public House Media, and I cover all aspects of the #MeToo movement, because the media leaves out so many details on it that are pertinent, important details, especially with Harvey. They're like, and all of these people are like, oh, well, these girls are just trying to trade this for that and blah 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 blah, and it's like, no. He only likes famous chicks. He's not out here for just regular girls off the street.
Yeah.
Like, It's a power play. It's about the power. I mean, he goes home to Georgina Chapman every day.
So I might have to contest you on that because I did work on a documentary that's now out called The Reckoning, and I was a camera operator on it and worked with the DP out here in LA, and we interviewed a handful of females, and one of them was
They were
not
just
famous.
randoms.
No, some of them were famous. Most of them were famous. There was one that was not, and so, I think it just depends on his mood.
Where did she run into him?
She originally wanted to be an actress, but she ended up being a babysitter.
Okay, that's.
Yes.
I have her
the
on the
call.
line again.
Wonderful.
You're on the line. Can you hear us?
Hi, it's me again.
Okay, go ahead, Marian.
Hola, Lucy.
Jessie.
Jessie, perdón. ¿Has apagado la radio?
Sí, ya la apagué.
Perfecto, pues ahora nos oímos perfectas.
Ahora sí.
Do you mind? If we
No, está bien, está
Okay,
bien.
Está bien.
¿Dónde
I can
estabas?
speak in English
¿Dónde
if
estás?
you want to.
No, está bien. Ellas todas quieren aprender.
Bueno. Bien.
¿Dónde estás?
En Venezuela.
¿En Caracas?
Caracas, Venezuela.
Ok. Están diciendo algo como entre ellas, como... ¿Cómo? ¿Qué te dice Robin?
No.
That I live in Caracas, Venezuela.
Yes, beautiful. So we would call her from Venezuela.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Thank you for
Yeah.
calling.
So I had a few questions for Marian.
Okay.
Marian, hay una chica italiana que le gustaría saber qué papel sería el ideal para ti interpretar como mujer en un futuro.
So in English, if you want to translate the question.
Translate.
What would be the role as a woman that you would like to act in the future?
Okay.
Wow. It's difficult, the question, because for me, the most interesting thing is always the surprise. Just to read the script, read the character, and think, oh, what is going to happen with this? So I never plan in one direction. So I love the surprise. I love the moment when I don't know anything about the character and I just have it on my hand. So I don't know.
There's
For
nothing
me, it's
that-
more than a surprise. I prefer, after reading the script, probably I don't like it.
Right.
But I don't like to plan or visualize what I would love to do next because I love surprises.
So it's not like you ever want to play an astronaut or anything like that?
No.
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 Maybe someone from history?
Yes, from
Oh,
history.
sorry, Jesse, can you turn the radio off? Because we're getting feedback again.
So someone, it could be because it's a Skype call from a different
Oh,
country.
copy. Okay, never mind.
So someone from history, is there someone that you might want to
A
portray
woman,
or a woman?
strong female lead that was
Yes.
like a trailblazer.
Strong, soft, whatever. But I love
History.
history and
Yeah.
historical, characters, of course.
Okay. Is there any other questions you have for her?
Yes. Wait.
We are
I know
three. You
that
can
you're recording
ask
something
them
right
too.
now.
Yeah, go on.
About a women issue?
A women issue, okay?
Okay. How do you prepare for this role and what's your opinion about it?
About in art culture?
About the art culture.
Okay. Well, I think the important thing here that Alexa and I have been discussing a lot, and we both agree, is that I cannot be myself like with an eye on that. My character is innocent at the beginning, so she doesn't know anything. Even if she's a lawyer, she's not doing the lawyer. She doesn't have like a point of view from a lawyer. So she's just living a romance. So she is not innocent, but she is not. I mean, I'm going to say she's not intelligent. It's not that she's not intelligent, but she's not using her intelligence for that. She's just living her relationship. So it's not me that I have a lot of information, that we talk about that all the time. It's a person who's like clean of all that information, that she is it will be the experience that will teach her that these things happen.
Yeah.
But it's not that she knows already and she has like a point of view created that she can compare. And no, she's not judging the husband because
Right.
she doesn't know. She's just in love. So.
Right. So pretty much it's written in a way, and Marian's great on getting into the characters, what we said in the beginning, where she, it's written in a way where most women none of us plan to ever be raped, but we do prepare in a way. So when it happens, one of those things, it comes as a shock, right? And especially if it happens by someone that you're in a relationship with, it's an even more shock because you're confused, like what just happened. And that's primarily what the story is about. And I talked to a therapist while I was writing this just to make sure that it's accurate. And she said it happens a lot where women don't even realize that they were assaulted until sometimes years later, where it comes up in a memory because it came back to them. And that's how she prepares, is because she's not in character. She can't be in character. I mean, she has to be in character. She can't be herself, because as women, especially in this time and era, we all have to be constantly on the lookout, and that's what sucks, right? That's what sucks.
But I think also in the story, the character Mila is shown a different side of her husband when she's in Spain.
Right.
And then when they
exactly
move here,
it's a whole different.
Exactly. So she sold a different bill of goods. So you're only making decisions based on information that you have at the beginning.
Which happens a lot in a lot of relationships when
Yes.
things like this get toxic.
Sure.
So you want to say thank you for calling, or?
Oh, yes, Lucy.
Jesse.
Jessie. Oh, sorry.
It's because we heard Lucy the first time. That was our
Yeah,
fault.
I'm so sorry.
The phone cut off.
¿Alguna pregunta más? ¿Te pareció bien?
No, le vas a decir a Alexa que le doy muchas gracias por tenerte a ti en esta película y en los próximos proyectos que vas a tener.
Yo también
con ella.
estoy muy contenta de tenerlas cerca a todas, a Alexa y a todas las chicas que estamos aquí, que no te imaginas, hay mucho nivel humano.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Gracias,
Thank you.
Jessie, te mando un abrazo grande. Gracias por llamar.
Para ti también.
Bye. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay, so basically she was just thanking her and thanking me for having her here on the show and having all of you guys on the show and for having her in the States. It's weird because we're talking about a project that no one knows about, and we're talking about it like everyone knows it. But
because it's a project that has a message that should be known, and that
Right.
it obviously
So
has.
with that being said, and you guys don't have to answer if you don't want to, but any suggestions or advice of anyone that's going through that, because it's an ongoing thing. It seems to start, it build up, and even though it's still there, I still hear stories where women don't even realize that they're being harassed, because it's kind of like, oh, we're just friends. That was a joke on set, whatever. Because that gets blurred.
Can I also say something too about the Me Too movement and kind of the culture of what happens on set? Because I think most people live in corporate America. They go to their job. They have a human resources. They have people that they work with. There's some kind of recourse. And I think when you go on set, every project is short-lived, right?
Right.
It's temporary.
Right.
So there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. There is really no human resources that you can go to, and everyone, I think, feels on a set, whether you're producer or PA, that you're replaceable. So that's where some of the fear kind of comes from. And I think also a lot of it's almost like living in the U.S. in the 50s, where all of the isms, before Harvey Weinstein kind of occurred, right? So, sexism, racism, all of those isms, so that you don't really feel safe maybe saying something because you're afraid of losing your job, right? So that's sometimes what the culture is of being on set.
Gotcha.
And I think there's a big isolation factor to it too. Like, especially if you're shooting on location, like you could be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like and these are all the people that you have, and they're the only people for a long, long way.
Yeah.
Right.
Or sometimes even if you are shooting on stage, like The Office, they got some weird little office building out in like Sun Valley, and they were just out there by themselves. Or the Workaholics guys got that like a real office building that the network bought them out the valley. So you're out there by yourself, like it's just you. It's not like this whole mess of people.
So we have another call here. Hi, you're on the air. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes.
What?
Hello.
I just want to say, I want to say to Marian, this is Anna. Marian, this is Anna.
Hey, Anna. I know her. Yeah.
Hi. How are you, dear? I just want to, talk to you in person, almost in person. You know me, and you know how much I appreciate you. And good luck. Good luck in Los Angeles.
Thank you, Anna.
That's it.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Thanks, Anna, for calling.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
That's all. That's all. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I wonder where she was calling from.
In terms of your question, though, to give people advice, I would always say listen to your gut. I think no matter what you're doing, listen to your gut. If it doesn't feel right, then say something.
And with what you're saying, the fear, we have to get over the fear. Because it is a temporary thing and there'll be another job.
Absolutely.
So it's just one of those things like, it sucks because we do have that fear, and it's kind of like, okay, should I say something? And sometimes even before you can say something, it's brushed off. Like, we're friends, right? Like, we're just messing on set. And I'm like, and it's weird too because I went to film school, and we would have this camaraderie with the other students and whatever. And so we would joke around all the time, and some of them would become like brothers to me, and so I would treat them like my brothers. There's nothing sexual there. It's literally treating them like my brothers. I had to change stuff because I started realizing, okay, maybe they're looking at it differently. And it was brought to my attention. And because of the whole Me Too thing, I was like, holy crap, I hope no one ever thought I was trying to do anything. Because it's weird, because even as a female, you got to think that way. Like, I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable.
Sure.
But it is. And I now know that you have to have, like, the divide. Like, it is a profession. If I go to an office, I'm going to go to the office to work. I'm not there to do anything other than that. Mm-hmm. So when that line gets crossed, and it's an odd thing too, because that was brought to my attention. I was asked, like, do you still have friends from other workplaces that you have? And I'm like, sometimes I keep in touch. Maybe it's on social media. For the most part, no. Like, as soon as I leave, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. If they leave, and that's it. If I hear from them or see them in passing, that's what it is. It's in passing. And I think it's one of those things that people get lost. It gets muddied because you think, oh, we're close now, we're this, we're that, because it does become like a family because you're there for 12 or plus hours. Absolutely. So obviously you get way too comfortable, and that's where the problem lies as well. Aside from it being the whole, boys will be boys thing, and I see that a lot. A lot. And I'm glad it's weird because my grandfather taught my brothers, and it wasn't so much my dad, and it wasn't because he couldn't. It was my dad was working, my grandfather was at home more, and he lived with us. He would sit with my brothers and teach them, like, this is how you're a gentleman. You do this and you do that. Mm-hmm. And it was instilled in them. So I see my brothers, and sometimes some of them might have, personal issues or whatnot. But for the most part, it doesn't cross a line because it was instilled, and that's, I think, a huge factor.
Mm-hmm. I think it weighs in, but at the same time, each person is an adult, so whether you're raised right or not, you have a choice. Whether you want to make that choice is up to you.
Right.
So it's a very fine line. I agree to a certain extent, mm-hmm. but at sometimes, like, there are gentlemen that is a rare find, and sometimes when there's a whole bunch of testosterone on set, it comes out. And it not only comes out from the male side, it also comes out from the female side that I hear. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm just like, hey, sometimes what are you going to do with that? Like, right. Especially if it's a female that's leading this conversation. It's kind of like, okay, so does that mean like that she now represents all females on set and the way that the demeanor and the tone is set? It shouldn't.
Right.
And it's like, I'm the mom on set. Like, I'm the one that's like, hey, let's keep it PC. Yeah.
I'm the kid on set. She's the one that she's telling that to.
Sometimes.
But especially in the camera department.
Sometimes. No, it was worse when I was an electric. My goodness. Yeah. Because I was...
bless you.
Yes, I was the only female on the crew. So, like, I'm seeing more and more. But, like, right now, I'm the only female on my camera crew. So, do you know what I mean? Like, so you try, like, and you can feel it out, and like, I understand, but as long as it's clean around me, I'm okay with it, because then I feel like I've been respected and listened to, and like, we've had these conversations, which I think is a very viable thing that needs to be addressed and shouldn't be shunned or a fear to bring up, because it's got to be across the board. And I told them, I go, look, it's up to you guys, because for some odd reason, people listen to men more than they do females. So it takes a stronger man to stand up to another man, other than just a female saying, hey, because my response usually is like, do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Right. I think it's also finding your family, and not every set is going to have that same tenor. So when you're on a good set and it goes top down, you know that it would just never happen. The conversation would not happen. All of the head of their departments will make sure that they're hiring people that would never happen. Like, I think that's also part of it.
Yeah.
I think, Marian, you came at the right time. We're cleaning it up for you.
Impeccable timing.
Great time for you. Do you see if there's a difference? Is there a difference between how things are in Spain and here?
Well, now with the internet, I mean, we've been sharing a lot, right?
Yeah.
When we started talking, she was sending me all the information from here, and it was exactly the same. I mean, we are kind of the same point, yeah.
So there you go. Let me start with you, Rachel. Where can people find you if you want them to find you?
If I feel like being found.
I know. Tread wary on this one.
Website.
Don't be calling me, please.
Her phone number is.
You can find me on Twitter. I like to keep things confusing. So on Twitter, it's at Rachel A. Mullins. And then on Instagram, it's at Rachel Ann Mullins.
Which was confusing. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I planned it that way.
Thank you.
And then if they want to see hashtag No Filter Friday, it's on Public House Media on iTunes and iHeartRadio and Google Play.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. Oh, wait, and your film. What's the film, the short film that's a pilot as well? What's it called?
Oh, Project X Marks the Spot, which it's out now. You can find it on the interwebs, wherever you want to find it. And I just was a consulting producer on an all-female short for the AT&T Shape Create-a-thon, and it was so cool. It was a completely different dynamic.
That's so rad. I've heard really good things about having mostly keys as females because it's just a different vibe.
It was above the line, below the line, and it was like really just like putting our heads together and doing the work, and it was really, really amazing. And I would have thought that would have been corny before, but then Mila Kunis just put out this article about how I just did this movie, and everybody was home by 7 and no one yelled, and I was like, yeah, we did that too, and it was like a new experience. It was really interesting.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Kat.
I am on Twitter. I am at Kat Venuti, KatVenuti.
Straight to the point.
That's right. And Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Instagram for you.
No.
We discussed that already.
Gram.
She's not on the gram.
Yeah.
She's not on the IG.
More and more, I'm just thinking
you don't want those DMs in your life. It's okay. It's a good decision.
They do creep in on the DMs. They do creep in on the DMs.
So much.
Little mystery.
Yeah. There you go. And no website. That's just.
No.
Okay. And then we're working on a few projects together.
Yeah.
So.
And I also have a short that I'm working on as well.
Okay. Because that you wrote.
Yes.
And the title?
It's called Dog Days.
Dog Days. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. That was cute. Okay. Oh, sorry.
About dating in LA.
There you go. Marian's like, wait. Marian.
Collaboration.
She was like, wait, I didn't say anything.
Actually, she might be really good for the best friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hang on one sec. Real quick, because we're almost done here. Can I?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, now I can.
Okay.
Real quick, because we're coming to an end. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Katrina. I am in North Carolina, and I just wanted to say hello to Marianne.
Hello.
I don't speak Spanish.
That's okay. She speaks English.
I was actually introduced to you by the young lady that called you from Venezuela. We met on Twitter, and I just fell in love with you.
Oh.
And I was wondering if you are planning to do any other types of shows or movies here in the U.S. so that all of us can get to see you more often.
Oh, well, you mean shows? You mean theater, right?
No, I think she means
shows.
shows.
Yeah, you can come.
We're working on two things.
Yeah, we are working on two things. We are start shooting very soon, and we will tell you for the premiere.
We'll keep you guys
all invited.
Yeah, there you go. She invited everyone to the premiere.
Is that bad?
No, you're fine.
Oh, what happened?
No, you're good. Okay, thank you for calling. We gotta wrap this up. Marian, tell everyone where they can find you.
In Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I don't use Facebook.
Okay, so Marian, it's underscore Marian
Aguilera. Yeah,
okay.
You know that. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, say that because I was too confusing.
Yeah, and Instagram?
Yeah.
Underscore Marian Aguilera. You can find her on Instagram.
Fantastic. And you can also find this podcast live, obviously, every Sunday at noon to 1. And then we are also on iTunes,
Google Play, and any other podcast streaming that you prefer.
So come find us.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
You're listening to Female Filmmakers Fuse with Alexa Polar, only on LA Talk Radio.